We are back with Realtor Talk and our professionals from Changing Seasons Nursery, Preston George and Susan Merrill. How can a homeowner keep up with the maintenance on their yard? It seems to be an issue in our area, but we don't want our yards to look bad. So what can we do to make sure that they're maintained all year?
Well, first thing that a yard needs is adequate water and fertilization. To start with fertilization, basically, a lot of people would think that it would be a lot of trouble to keep a yard up that way. In all actuality, there's so many products out there. For example, your regular early spring fertilizer to help green up your yard, your mid-spring fertilizer with weed and feed in it will help control the weeds. Later on in the season, a slow release nitrogen fertilizer to help keep that yard green. Sometimes it has an iron additive, which also helps green up a yard. And then your fall fertilizer helps bring that yard in good condition through the winter. Basically, these products, you think, geez, that sounds like a lot of money, but the average yard in our area tends to run around about $100 a year, and each application would only take 10 to 15 minutes to do. These products can be picked up individually as you need them, or we have group packages where you could come in early in the spring, pick up all 4 seasons of fertilizer, and in many cases save up to 20% on your product for the year. The only negative portion of that is that you would have to store it in your garage all year, and most people are, they're time savers. They don't want to spend all their time in their yard. So it's usually not a problem to do that, and where they can save a few bucks, it's a great way to go.
That makes sense. How about if people have problems with their lawn? I know there's bill bugs, and sometimes people have big spots of grass that looks bad. How do you go about identifying what these problems are and how you take care of them?
Well, the problems with not only just the grass, but the yard, the trees, everything, insects problems are endless. Bill bugs in the grass, sod webworms, and grubs are definitely a problem in our area, and you'll notice big brown spots that you can just literally pull up and the roots have been basically cut off. That tends to be the grubs and bill bugs in our area. Those can be treated either professionally. You can hire a professional to come in and do applications, or you can do it yourselves. We have several applicators that are very easy to use for anyone, basically where you hook it up to the end of the hose, dial the recommended amount onto the top, pull the trigger on the hose, and basically water in these insecticides that will take care of it. And we also have fertilizers that you can apply, a dry granular fertilizer that will also take care of these insects and give you residual or several months of control on them. So another way, basically, if you don't know what your problem is, you can do several things. You can bring in a pitcher. We can come and visit your home, or we can, you could bring in a sample, but we would actually prefer if you did bring in a sample of bugs and pests and funguses or something, that you bring it in a plastic Ziploc bag or something so that we don't infect our nursery. And hopefully we can help you diagnose it that way. If we can't do that, or your garden center can't do that, or your lawn care professional, another good resource in our area is the county extension office. And they have professionals there that can diagnose these problems. And when we've found things that we don't know what they are, that's who we go to.
All right. Well, thank you for that. How about the idea that maintenance on your yard is an investment in your home? I think a lot of times when we're trying to stage a home, we tell people less is best. So take things out of your home so that people can see what you actually have here. Is a yard the same, or is it, do you want more in your yard? I mean, what do you think about ideas for us telling clients or people that are trying to sell their home, what should they do with their yard? Do you want less things in it, or do you want more?
Well, it would depend upon how much it might conceal the home. You don't want to do that. You want to you want it to frame the home, not to conceal it. I'll give another example. I was visiting my daughter this weekend, and she's only lived in her home maybe 5 years. But she has some trees planted out front. Do you know what kind of trees those are, Preston? That are in the
red choke cherries?
Yes, beautiful trees. But she was noticing as she drove up the driveway, you couldn't really see the house. So we just took really a few minutes, I'll bet it wasn't 30 minutes, and pruned the tree up a little bit. And they stood back and they said, wow, look, now you can see the house. And
Great.
in doing that, it kind of elongated the tree, made them seem taller, and it was just a huge improvement. So just a little snipping here and there and fertilizing will just make a huge improvement. But often a little less is best. Okay. Especially if you're trying to sell.
Let me just say, from a retail standpoint, though, we would prefer more.
You want us to buy the trees and bushes. Now
You
that's
bet.
another thing, trees. And when you talk about treating trees, I know I've had aspens before in my yard, and they got borers in them. So how hard is it to keep those alive and get your tree back to health?
Aspens in our area are notorious for it. They're such a beautiful tree, and they add that alpine look to a home. One very simple way to control that and to save those trees would be to do a systemic insect drench. Basically, it's such a simple thing. It costs about $10 for a quart, and mix a couple ounces in 5 gallons of water, pour it around the base of the tree where the roots are. It uptakes it through the tree and gives 12 months worth of insect control in that tree. Very simple. Works on all trees and shrubs for bugs and insects.
That's a good idea for those pesky bugs in your trees. Well, it may be a good time to ask yourself what you can do to spruce up your yard and your home and have it get a little bit more curb appeal. Even painting your front door or cleaning off your front porch, adding a basket of flowers so that your home entices people to come in and looks welcome. And welcomes them. I want to thank you for coming today. I really appreciate you being here and lending your expertise about landscaping and garden. Do you have any final things you'd like to say?
Nope.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much. You're watching Realtor Talk, produced by the Greater Pocatello Association of Realtors, and we hope that you've got some ideas today to help maintain and take care of your yard and home. Thanks so much for watching.
How hard can it be? You put up a sign, you just wait for the offers to roll in.
Getting the house appraised and the comps.
It becomes a second job.
Covering myself from the legal standpoint.
The money that you think you're going to save, you end up losing.
I've bought and sold homes before, and now the first thing I do is call a realtor.
Realtors have the experience to price your home so it can sell for up to 16% more than selling it yourself.
Using a realtor is a smart financial decision.
Get the facts straight about selling your own home. Talk to an agent and be sure to ask if that agent is a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
Don't try this at home.
Dimes are shiny and round. Nickels are also round. Dollars are not round. Dollars are rectangles. What can I buy with 2 rectangles?
A bus ride.
You're right. Good job, honey. You're so
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
About a year ago, Mark and I thought, air pollution, global warming, how can we make a difference? So first things first, Mark modified our car. He harnessed the wind. Then he experimented with microwave technology and some sort of homemade energy source.
The best part is the car emits only helium. Genius. Genius.
But the EPA says the energy we use in our home can cause twice the greenhouse gases of a car. So I went to EnergyStar.gov. I got tips on lighting, heating and cooling, and to look for the Energy Star on products we buy. As for Mark, he still marches to the beat of a different drum.
I figure why not let gravity do all the work, right?
I know I'm making a difference. I just look for the Energy Star.
The Environmental Protection Agency encourages you to visit EnergyStar.gov to discover what you can do to reduce air pollution.